Hi, Cancer. It is Aries season. I was like, where are we? So from here on out, things are going to be probably more like a slight difference you'll notice in the readings, only because I want to expose other parts of what I see other than just next steps and such. All information as usual to work with me one-on-one is below, ways to contact me, and the extended reading, which gets even deeper, and I think they're awesome. Some of them are out from last month. If you want to take a check at that or look at that, check it out, whatever I was about to say there. Not the angle. And that's where you can take a look for that if you'd like to check out those extended versions of the readings. There we go, that's the problem. If you would like to, there's previous ones out. That's how to take a look. The link below for the Patreon is there, and in the future I will be putting out more stuff. So next month I'll let you know, or this coming month I'll be doing a Venus reading. Very soon, actually. Venus moves into Gemini tomorrow, April 11th. This will probably out the same day I do it, so today. But just something to be aware of for the future. I also put out an old podcast that I did, 2 parts, very long, but I think it's really an awesome full circle. It's called Ancestors, and that is in a link below as well. So now that we've gotten that covered, let's go into your reading for this month. This month's reading, though, I do want to emphasize, is something that you may want to look at for months to come, because we have the nodes changing. This last full moon, which was last week, the Libra full moon, was pretty big for a lot of people, especially women. But I've seen everyone kind of go through, everyone in my life that I know and that I've seen go through something in terms of relationships with themselves, with their life, with their career, with their body, even deeper in the internal body, purpose, all that stuff going on, whether it's from me or someone I know. So just an extra, I don't know, an extra reminder to really take a look and take care of those parts of yourself, especially in Aries season, because I think what we do in each season really echoes into the next year as the seasons come forward, or the years to come. And Mars is in your sign, which can cause a lot of different parts of you to want to be revealed to yourself, to different dynamics. This month, again, the nodes are shifting, so we're going to have an eclipse at the end of the month. Sorry, my cats are being funny. So that's going to set the tone for the next year and a half almost. So take a look at where Libra and Aries are in your chart, as well as Taurus and Scorpio. If you have them, not everybody does. I understand that. That's not said enough. And we'll take a look at all of that in the second part even more, but just maybe take a look at that, see if it resonates, see if you see it, or just giving yourself a heads up. So this 5 of Wands and 3 of Cups, what is this? This is a few things. So for one part of you, or for some of you, if you don't relate to this, that's fine. I can see this 2 ways, and I'd like to explain what they are as I shuffle to see if even more comes through. So some of you are maybe indulging too much in how you're feeling. Now, I know that can sound like, well, Mars is in Cancer, duh. Well, yeah, duh, but it might be in a way where you're trying to get people to just agree with you. And unfortunately, Cancer, right now, you really need people in your life to set the tone where they can't just agree with you unless it's true. They need to agree with what is very real, and if someone's being affected by this, they should speak up. And it would be very wise of you to listen. For others of you, this is about coming out on the other end. It could be both too, just so you know. Coming out on the other end. We have the 10 of Pentacles and the 7 of Swords as well. So you're coming out on the other end of something, and you realize that even if you can't have it all right now, whatever that means to you, or you're working towards something, you know, this 3 of Cups, this fruition coming into this 10 of Cups, this lifelong, you know, set in stone that everything's going to be okay, that you have everything you need. And the 7 of Swords is saying that you're somewhere in your life where these things, where the 3 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles come together. There's a part of you that wants to take what you've learned and leave some of it behind. So some of you can be celebrating that whatever friction or whatever has caused certain things to unearth inside of you, be triggered inside of you this past month. And as we move forward, it's for, yes, it's not easy. Don't get me wrong. However, it's for a bigger purpose. It's for something that you're learning about yourself as you move forward. It's something, sorry, what are you doing? Get down, down, down. Leos are next. My kitties. She listened. Just like that interaction, let's use it. Let's use it. I love using the universe at play right when things are going down. Let's use it. So my cat did something I know my cat's not supposed to do, but my cat's a cat. She probably knows too at this point, but she still does it sometimes. Just means I have to clean the counters a little extra. But she tries to go at some of my plants sometimes, this one in particular right now. It really depends. It's so weird. And I saw her and I looked at her and she almost went for it, but I saw her, I pointed, you know, we communicated the way that only humans and I guess cats know how to, unless you have something different than me. But usually I have to get up, but I waited this time for her. The boy, he listens to me, but she's a little different because she's smarter. Just saying, not saying anything there. But it was through that eye contact that she got down from somewhere she knows she's not supposed to be. She knows that that's not for her usage. She has other places she can go and jump. Plenty of them. So it's kind of like that. You're in a territory, you know deep down, or you're just figuring out deep down that you're not really supposed to be there, or this isn't really working for you anymore. Or all of a sudden you're like, oh, this has been the problem, or this is the thing. Well, there's plenty other places you can go. And just because you weren't kind of guided out of it or pushed out of it, you could call this guidance if you want, but just because you weren't forced out of this place or forced out of this thing, or, you know, it doesn't need to end in such an abrupt way. You can end things where it's more productive for you, where it's actually easier for you and your emotions and for everything that could be happening in this time. Because of course, there's all around us, there's these signs of letting go of control. Not just for you, but for all of us. The more that you do that, however, the more you're going to find that there's been something waiting for you to see within yourself. Something that we've talked about rest a lot this past year. I know it's kind of been stop and go, but you're not alone in that, number one. Number two, something came up a couple months ago, and we're going to enter a Mercury retrograde soon, so you'll probably see this more like exacerbated next month as we go into Taurus season. But knowing you're getting the trickles here, and it could be presented by someone in your life who is very upfront with certain things, maybe material. We'll just go with that for now. Yet doesn't show other things, maybe philosophical or emotional as much. Now, if you find that you meet more people like this than not, chances are they're showing you something about yourself. So what can happen is a very contemplative time. Now, we think Aries season, we think fire, we think action, and this is action. This is just not action, go type thing. It's more of like, okay, now I'm ready to see what I need to see. Action, go. Let me do what I need to do about it. Let me see what I can do about it personally. And then do my best to let go of whatever control that you're wanting to have that you can't. Right? So moving on from certain things isn't always easy because you have so much attached to it, whether it's ego, time, energy. But something that's helped me, if you're in this place, and I do want to share that something that's helped me, because I have seen my life like that. I do get like that sometimes. Every single thing you do is just the next step towards who you're becoming, what you may need to do next, or what you're supposed to do next. All of those things aren't going to waste. Everything you've learned, everything you did, everything that you've experienced needs to and can be carried over. Just looks different. You're not shy from that. You're someone who embraces that when you're ready, or, when it's time. Sorry, my cat. She's being silly today. And I think this is a time where, not to be so biblical, but it's a resurrection for you. It's a time where you get to see yourself in a way that's only through your eyes, right? You're getting reflections for sure, or even projections, including yourself. But the truth that hits you more than anything else will cause you not to just go back in your shell and retreat, but cause you to recognize all of the work you've done this past year, if you've done it. Realizing that this isn't an attack or a punishment. None of that. It's saying, completed mission, time to move on. Something like that. And what I think is going to come out of the other end of this, through the eclipse, through into the next, is more than I can even tell you, better than I can even show you, anything, all of it. Look at this. Sometimes we have to give up what, I know this is so cliche, but sometimes we do have to give up what we think we want for what's really for you. And if you don't get that if you don't clear your space mentally, physically, emotionally, which you could have some major releases this month, right? Even physically. This month is only slightly physical for you. Just bodily wise, it's more physical. Then you're just creating space, and we've talked about this, just to let things in more. Right? Spring, each season has to make room for each other. The flowers bloom and die in spring. It does its job. It does such hard work to bring everything back to life. And then it just seems like summer gets to prosper and flourish, and it's not. It's just its job. It's just the next thing that happens throughout the seasons. And then fall takes things into the death, right? You're right in the heat of the summer for most people, right? However, It's not always easy to be that, right? It's not always easy because you're supposed to have fun, you're supposed to be this, and you're supposed to be that. It's like, what if you were just you and everyone was just them? And I know that part of your beauty is being responsible, and this is a long one, but I just feel like we need to talk apparently. But what it's showing you is that you're not losing at all. You can grieve what you're losing for sure and acknowledge everything, but in totality, you're gaining so much more that you can't see yet. And you're, if not the master at that, you and Capricorn, in this life. I don't know who is. So that is what the biggest part of you that I think that you need to embrace, or what this is showing you that you can embrace. And a lot of readings are pointing towards the end of the summer being the very clear resolution to everything that's happening now. A little sooner than expected, but it's right before Libra season, which makes sense, where the nodes are shifting, right? So it's a beautiful play. And maybe if you see it as that, it can be more of that. Because I do see this as very much a work of art. So I would call this the resurrection for you guys this month. All of the things that maybe have been suppressed, all of the things that were left, just a few months ago, just a year ago, because other parts of you needed attention. But now it's time to come back to this and reassess and bring back what you need to, let go of what you don't, and recognize that you have and are capable of everything that you need. And then what you want can come. All right, Cancer? I'll see you in the next part and next month.